Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Waiting to be profiled is James Swan and singer Yoly Tolentino. Interior designer James Swan was born and raised in Northern California. He earned a bachelor's from Southwestern University in theology and music, and then a master's in architecture and interior design from Arizona State. It seems that, James, you had other ideas to go into theology and music before interior design.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a false start.
What happened?
Pursuing other people's dreams. And it took me a little while to figure out what was in my heart and what was going to make me happy. And that was clearly design.
But when you were in music, were you going to be a professional singer?
It was, yeah.
Were you?
Give it a try.
Singing or instruments? Or?
Vocal. Yeah, it was all vocal performance.
So then you went into interior design. Why not architecture if you got a master's in that?
Well, I got 3/4 of the way through the program, and after doing a couple of internships, I realized that this wasn't a good fit. It was going to be another false start.
Really?
I really enjoyed the hand-holding, the time with the clients, getting really involved in their lives, and it seemed like interiors offered more of that.
That's one of the things I was going to ask you as far as clients go. What kind of clients do you like, commercial or individual?
I've done both, and I prefer the residential client.
That's something that a lot of people don't like because they have to deal with them on a minute by minute.
That is quite true. I enjoy the hand-holding. It's challenging, and every client is different and has different needs. But at the end of the day, I enjoy sort of being there for people.
Maybe that's that theology upbringing of yours, because
the caregiver.
A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
When you work on a project, how many people are working on the project at the same time with you?
From my office? Well, we have 6 that are in the office right now. And just depending on the facet of the project, it can be just me, or all 6 of us can be focused on the work.
Yeah, you've worked on residential from 20,000 square feet to what, 10 or 12 or?
1,200. I mean,
1,200. That's what I was going to ask you. Will you take something that's 1,200?
Sure. Oh, yeah. What we look for with our projects are people who are willing to do fun and interesting things, to think outside the box, and to allow us opportunities to explore what we do best. And so the size of the project, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's nice to have the large projects, but sometimes the more interesting ones are the smaller ones.
One of the things I thought was really interesting, and it sounded like when you said caregiving, it sounded you had a list of things that the James Swan company does, and one of them is aftercare.
Aftercare, yes.
I felt like you came out of the hospital and you were taking care of the...
Well, sometimes getting through a large construction or remodel project, you do feel like you're coming out of a hospital. You've been sort of beaten up. It can be a very traumatizing experience. And what often people don't realize is that there's still a lot more involved once the client is in the house. The house systems have to be taken care of.
Oh, right.
Who's going to take care of those things? Sometimes it's staffing needs in the house.
Can you do all that?
Well, I don't personally.
But I mean, you have people
we have
in your
networks.
office?
We have networks of relationships built with businesses who can provide those services to our clients.
Do people start calling you and saying, my heat just went off, my AC isn't working?
We've had those calls.
And you know how to take care of them?
Well, I don't, but I know who to call.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And if we've done our job well with the aftercare program, we've set our clients up with contracts and established relationships for them with these people, so they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting aspect because most people do a job and walk away.
Well, we're all about building relationships, and just because the last sofa's been put in place or the art's hung, our relationship goes on with the clients. We hope for years and years.
And then they have friends who see what you're doing. I think it's really great to do that. One of the things that I found that Jim Swan was an expert in was these disaster situations that happen, design disasters. What does that mean?
Well, as I said, the design process can be traumatizing for any number of reasons.
Like?
It always costs more, it always takes longer. There can be disappointments. Sometimes people don't do their job the way they say they're going to, and so clients are left feeling very disappointed.
But do you take care of that for the client?
We try. We've got a couple of projects in the office right now that clients have come from very bad experiences.
Oh, so you do it like a cleanup job?
Yeah, we come in and try to heal the wounds a little bit and show people that it can be otherwise, and that it can be a happy, productive, and positive experience working with a designer.
So a design disaster is not somebody hanging their lamp in the wrong place or painting their walls the wrong color.
Well, those things happen too, but those things are quick and easy to fix. You repaint the room, you move the lamp. If a furniture piece, I mean, we just had this happen in our office. We had a furniture piece that was specified. It was built, it was delivered to the job site, and we realized that it was a half-inch too large to fit through a doorway. A design disaster.
Yeah.
We goofed, and we fixed it for the client. We took the casings off the door frame, we got the piece in the room, we put the casings back, we repainted, we apologized profusely. We're human, we make mistakes.
But you don't ever think about going through the door. That's the thing.
A lot of people don't, yeah. Or will the sofa fit in the elevator when you're working in a high-rise?
Right,
Yeah, we've had to, in fact, I've had a call from a client who was going to do it on their own, or we're going to do this part of the project on their own, and they came to deliver the sofas. They were in a high-rise, wouldn't fit in the elevators. So
what happens then?
We hire a crane, and you literally take it in through the windows outside the
building. But it'll fit in the window, but it won't fit in the elevator?
14 floors up, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those are kind of things you hate to be doing on your own. You're glad you have a decorator doing that, or a designer who knows what to do.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of show houses like LA Magazine and Esquire Magazine, and what does that entail? Do they tell you what to do?
It's actually a fairly open field. There are some parameters that you have to work within, but it's an opportunity to let me be the client and to just sort of let my imagination run wild, and it's a lot of fun that way.
Oh, you turn out to be the client.
I get to be the client then, yes. Usually what we do is we create a fictitious client. And we create the space with them in mind, but we get to make up the client, so it's a lot of fun that way.
I see. And then you've done HGTV as an expert on, I guess, design.
Yeah, we've been guests a couple of times on some shows. We're actually filming next weekend my home here in Los Angeles for one of the HGTV shows. Great exposure, lovely people to work with.
What kind of house do you live in?
I'm in a condominium, a high-rise. It's a nice space. I'm very happy with it. I bought the condominium and we gutted it, spent about a year remodeling it, and I've been in it now for about 3 years.
So did you make it into more or less a loft type of thing, not fancy?
No, actually, I went the other direction. I created very clear, definite spaces, sort of almost classical and a little bit formal, some people might say. Stripped away all the moldings and detailing, so it's very clean, and then brought in a collection of art and antiques.
I see. One of the other things that you do is you have a office in Boston, like the opposite side of the world.
Far side of the world, yes.
Yeah. What do the Boston people have the same?
Blast. It was a Bill Blast gown.
Well, did you?
Safe. But what we're finding is that there's a huge influx of new blood that is coming into the Northeast, and there are people that are coming from different experiences and are looking for something fresh and new.
Is this an example?
A project in Boston, yes.
And what would be different about this?
Probably the mixture. I mean, we've got an 18th century Gustavian settee, we've got Italian armchairs, we've got a Portuguese chest, and an Italian map. And it's the mix that you don't typically see in the New England area. Typically you'll go in and you'll see a room that's Chippendale or all Hepplewhite furniture.
Oh, I see.
Very period correct, lots of colonial. And so this, people aren't used to seeing this, the mix of items and objects.
And when you do a mix like this, and in a room like this that we now have on the screen, do you have to do a lot of research?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you have to understand the provenance of the piece, where it comes from, what its history is. Issues of scale and proportion, of course, then become important. This is the other view of the room.
This is the same room,
Same room,
only
just
the other
direction.
You took the draperies all the way to the ceiling.
It draped the entire room, actually. The walls were in really bad shape, and the client needed sort of a quick fix. And so we came in and just draped the room and didn't have to worry about the condition of the walls.
One of the things that you do a lot of humanitarian work. You do a lot of charity work, and you got the award, the Vox Out Award, recently, which was very prestigious. I mean, they give it to someone who really does a lot of work with the community.
Yeah, I feel it's very important. I've been blessed with a certain level of success, and I feel honored for that. I work hard at it. But it also offers me an opportunity to be involved in my community and in causes that I feel strongly about.
And one of them is human rights, I know.
Yes, the Human Rights Campaign.
And what do they do?
They're the nation's largest gay and lesbian lobbying association.
Oh, I know that, yes.
Yeah, and so they're a very powerful voice and a very visible voice in Washington, D.C. on a whole range of issues.
Have you had a chance to go back with them?
I've been to D.C. once.
Oh, you have? Yeah.
Worked a lot more specifically here in Los Angeles.
And something else, with children, you work with children and art.
There's a wonderful program in Boston called Kids Smart.
Oh, you do it in Boston?
This is an organization in Boston. Ultimately, they hope to be nationwide, but they've started it in Boston. We raise funds, and then we provide art classes and art supplies for children in the inner cities.
Oh, that's great.
And it's wonderful to see kids who've never had the opportunity to sit down with paints or clay or other mediums and begin to explore this new world.
And especially if you're there with them hands-on, I think, and you show the kind of work you do, I bet that's a big inspiration to children.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's thrilling for me to get to watch them respond to something that's new, and I think adds a wonderful layer, new dimension to their life. It's great.
I have one of these rooms that I'm going to look for it right now, a child's room, because it shows how interested you are in, I think, in children, really, to do something, to do a room like this. It's like a fairy princess room for a little girl.
Yeah, it was a little girl. She was in love with Ariel from the Little Mermaid. And so we began talking with her mom about creating a room that would sort of honor that.
And here she is on the other side of the room. Wait a minute, we'll get this up here so you can see the Little Mermaid. And the walls were painted, is that?
The walls and the ceiling were painted. The idea was that the room was submerged under the ocean.
That's
and
so great.
Fish were swimming above her head in the bed, and it was a lot of fun.
And the best thing for the little boy, look at this. Where did you ever find a big chair like that?
Isn't that great? It's a classic, a chair that was made in the 70s called the Joe chair. Yeah, it was done with Joe DiMaggio in mind as an homage to him. And we found a piece actually in East Hampton at a dealer there. We created the bed, built it to look like a, what do they call it? The
dugout.
The dugout, thank you.
The dugout. I know about that. That's so great.
It was a lot of fun.
And thank you.
Thank you, Joan.
Thank
Pleasure
you
to
for
be with
coming
you.
and telling us all about what you're doing in both sides of the coast. And don't go away. We'll be right back with Yoly Tolentino. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. I'm here with singer Yoly Tolentino, who was born in Guam, raised in San Francisco, and she received her Bachelor of Arts from San Francisco State and a Master's from State University in Binghamton. Yeah. How far is that from San Francisco?
6,000 miles.
It's on the other side. How'd you end up there?
Well, it was I didn't mean to get my master's. I moved to Philadelphia to get into the Academy of Vocal Arts.
Oh, that's a great place.
Yeah. I didn't make it in, though. Ended up going to, someone told me about the program up there in Binghamton, and so...
Oh, so you were like moving around?
Yeah, I just wherever I could go, you know.
I'm a singer.
Yes, somebody take me.
Yeah. But that was, from Binghamton, you sang in the Tri-City Opera.
Yes.
And you sang the role of Madame Butterfly, did you?
I sang that in a model opera.
And what is that?
A model opera it's existed for 50 years, and it's a lot of people in New York City know about a model opera, and it's run by Tony Amato. And
oh, I know
it's
a model
old
opera.
School. Oh, you do?
There.
Oh, you have?
Yes,
okay.
it's on. It's like in the 70s, or
yeah,
it's up in the Upper East Side.
Well, no, it's Lower East Side, but it's really. They kept it the same size. It's a small.
It's a little
theater.
tiny house,
but it's very Italian. It's the way opera is supposed to be. You know, the way he does it, the way Tony Amato, he sings along as he's conducting.
Oh, you sang Madame Butterfly there?
I did. Yeah.
Really?
I did. Yeah.
Because it's a very small stage.
Yes.
And little tiny audience, just like you're saying.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh, it was great. Oh, you did that.
Yeah.
It's so authentic.
Yeah, I loved it.
Everything he does is very authentic.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's great. So was that your first big role?
I think so. Yeah, that was the first lead role I've ever had. And before that, I did a comedy thing in Willows, Concord, and then I did some roles with Tri-Cities Opera.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, like See a Belle and Faust. And
Tri-City Opera was near school then?
Yes.
Was it near your school?
Yes, yes. It was affiliated with the school too.
Well, when you go to school up there, do they send you on auditions? Do you get a chance to learn where to go and what to do? Or did you already know that?
No, yeah. I mean, you get trained in the school, and then also you get to perform with the opera company.
Oh, so that's the good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, why didn't you become an opera singer?
Well, it's not that easy. It's a very tight community, and it's I don't know. And plus, I really enjoy pop music.
Did you really? Did you want to be on stage rather than stage like with musicals?
Actually, I wanted to major in just musical theater and pop, but I was kind of forced to learn opera. Oh. And I learned to appreciate it after they forced me to.
Oh, you weren't even there as an opera singer.
I really didn't mean to. Well, at San Francisco State.
Oh, yeah. There you were.
Yeah, and then they said, well, you might as well, because you have more operatic voice. And because I faked the way we were, I did it in an operatic way to please the jury, the teachers.
You won.
That were. I did it just to pass the grades. I get an A, and they thought, oh, she's an opera singer. So they forced me to sing opera, and that's what happened.
You came from a big family.
Yes.
Big family.
Yes, 11 kids.
That's a lot. Yeah. Where were you in the number?
Youngest.
You were the youngest? Were any of them singers, musicians?
The oldest is a singer. He used to do all the cruise lines, the international cruise line.
Did that.
Yeah, and my other brother did the Vegas thing.
Well, did you think about doing any of that?
Well, kind of crossed my mind. But in the future, I think I might consider doing some cruise lines.
Because those are great gigs, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone loves you. They're a captive audience. They can't jump overboard.
That's true.
Can't go back
to stay there.
But what led you to Broadway then? We've got all these kind of operatic things, and here you are, end up on Broadway. Was that a shock?
Yeah, it was, because I gave up singing for a while, actually, and I went home to be with my family. And I thought, well, I'm just going to, whatever, just live a normal life. And then I had an agent, though, because I wanted to do commercials and whatever, and he sent me to this audition, King and I, and I got the job in San Francisco, and I had to, I came to New York with a job. So
is that right?
Yeah.
You auditioned in San Francisco and went, and tell us about the role that you played, because this is the big highlight in your life, right? Being on Broadway.
Oh yeah.
You're young.
It was the most exciting time for me in my career, and just to get to New York City and have a job and singing, just and with great people like Lou Diamond Phillips and Donna Murphy. It was amazing, yeah. And then to be able to sing the role on stage and just be alone on stage, just bare stage. And
Who is that? What is she the oldest of your role? Tell us about your role.
Oh, well, the role, she is the head wife.
She's
of
the first
king.
wife. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't sing it for every show. I sang it for about maybe 30 shows.
Which is a lot.
Oh, it was a lot. But the first time I thought, oh, all I need is once, And then I got so many times to get on. It was wonderful.
Because so many shows don't even last 30 times.
That's true. Oh, we're so happy that it did last 2 years.
So you're on the stage alone?
Yeah.
And what is that song?
It's Something Wonderful.
Oh, so it's a very well-known song.
Yes, it's I've heard a lot of people consider that one of their favorite Broadway songs.
Is that right?
A lot of men love it because it's about how great men are, even when they're wrong. And
do you know can you do the tune a little bit?
Oh, okay.
Just I forget how it sounds.
He will not always say. Yeah, that's
beautiful, because then it brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah.
Because you're so in love with him, right? With the king.
Yes, yeah.
But you know where you stand.
Yes, exactly. And the men love it, of course, because it builds them up. So.
Yeah, because you're so in love with him. What about costumes? Did you?
Yeah, the costumes were all silk. It was authentic Thai type of costume. I mean, the costume designer was a genius, but it was really kind of tight fitting, and so it was hard to walk around sometimes, and we had to go on barefoot.
Oh,
we
but
didn't
isn't
have
that
shoes.
Easier?
Well, I don't know. I like wearing shoes. I love. My mom used to say, "You'll get worms in your body if you don't wear shoes."
So you like shoes. That's a good thing to remember.
No, but yeah. So the costumes were great. They're all silk and very Thai. Authentically Thai.
And then when you said you stood on stage alone.
Yes, just alone with that spotlight. That's all I could see was the spotlight and a few heads in the audience. And it was so quiet. All I could hear was the orchestra.
Did you interact with Lou Diamond?
Yes, I did. Oh, you mean off stage?
No, on
yes.
stage, yeah.
Yeah, there were some parts, but there wasn't a lot of interaction between Lady Tiang and him. Because she had to remain a little more distant to the king because
she took care of all the kids, right? Were all the kids around her?
And all the wives.
And all the wives.
She was the head wife, so she was in control.
Do they make you look older? Because you're so young.
Well, when they put my hair up with a crown, somehow they made me look older. Yeah,
it adds a stature.
It did.
You're doing a solo show now.
Yes. Yeah.
You at the Wyndham Bellage.
Yes.
Just on Sundays, I think it is. Is it Sundays?
Alternate Sundays.
Alternate Sundays. Well, what do you don't sing Broadway tunes, do you?
I sing everything I can because there's all sorts of people that walk in. There are rap singers that walk in, and it's
Can you sing rap songs?
No, I don't sing rap songs for them. I sing the pop tunes for them, like the Whitney Houston and whatever. But I try to, I won't sing "I Will Survive" and then "King and I" after that. I try to blend it so That's a good
question. How do you write the show? Who writes the show for you, and how do you know what songs to put where, and who accompanies you?
Well, I do the show. I write the show myself.
You do. So you put the order of songs.
Yes.
Or you'll use Bacharach or the Beatles or Carly Simon.
Yeah. And Gloria Estefan with salsa. I'm going to actually start the program with a salsa song.
Do you?
Yeah. But it all blends somehow. I don't know how. There's a way to do it.
And are they songs that are your favorites, or are you thinking of the audience and how you're going to grab them?
I think of them too, but I have to enjoy myself. I can't, sing something that I don't enjoy or is not suited to my voice. So like Bonnie Raitt, I enjoy some of her songs.
But then do you use a guitar?
No, I have a pianist. I'm sorry, no.
I wondered if you did.
Yeah, no, a pianist and a drummer, and they're really, really talented.
Do they do
Brent
just
Crayon.
those two?
Yes.
The pianist is who?
The pianist is Brent Crayon, and the percussionist is Voice McGinley.
Does he do a lot of different things other than just the drums?
No, they do everything.
Yeah, they do everything?
Yeah, they do. It's great. I mean, we had rehearsal like 2 weeks ago, and it was just, we were amazed that there's only 2 people in the band, but yet it sounded full.
So if you come on to do a salsa, they can do salsa?
Oh yeah, they can. There's versatile as well.
And then do you continue to take singing lessons?
Actually, I stopped after the 6th year.
I wondered if a singer continues, or if you go to acting classes, or what you do.
Well, you continue to educate yourself, yeah, definitely. But as far as formal voice lessons, my last teacher told me that I really didn't need formal lessons anymore because I'm at the point now where I can fix certain things that are not. Yeah, but to come to him once in a while.
But what happens then if you go on stage? You're being directed, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
So someone tells you what to do.
Yes, where to go, where to stand, and then the conductor tells you where to breathe.
Oh, he
Don't
does?
breathe here, and
Oh, he does?
Yes.
So he's directing you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see. But on stage, you're alone.
Yeah.
Do you have a director for your show?
Oh, for my show?
Your
No,
solo show?
it's me. It's sort of a relaxed show, you know, where I interact with the audience, and yeah, because they're really up close.
Is it really honest, or have you got this all scripted when you interact?
Oh yeah, no. The dialogue at this point is just, it's not scripted. No, it's just the order. The order is the only thing that's actually.
Well, where would you like to go from here?
Well, I just want to keep singing anywhere I can. I'm doing recordings. I'm starting to write my own songs.
Oh, I wondered about that.
Yeah, and I also write screenplays. So.
Oh, well, that's good. Is it for yourself?
No, I actually want to start producing, or even stage plays.
But I mean, are you writing yourself into your screenplays?
Oh, there's pieces of me everywhere, and it's so funny because people say, "Did this happen to you?" Oh my gosh! And they're like, "No, that's on somebody else," and I just, kind of welded everybody together.
Do you have aspirations of being an actress?
Yes, I do. I want to be. I would love to do a straight play one day, or be on, in a film, or.
So then, do you take acting lessons?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do.
Well, at this point, I'm not taking acting lessons. I really am very comfortable with the camera, though, and I'm not taking formal lessons right now. There's no time. I feel like I should, concentrate on the singing in LA since I'm new here in town.
Where are you new from?
From San Francisco.
Oh, so that's great. Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you here.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And we're looking forward to your gig, I guess.
Yeah, please come. Cover.
It's really great at the Wyndham Bellage. It has a lot of celebrities coming and going, and great restaurants.
Yeah.
And
I heard Tom Cruise was there.
Oh, you did? Don't tell anyone. Well, I'm glad you were with us.
Okay, well, thank you, Joan.
Thank you. And thank you for watching the Joan Quinn Profiles. And continue to write to us at 777 South Figueroa, 44th floor. We'll see you next time on the Joan Quinn Profiles.